Hello everyone, welcome back to the Grassroots Football Project. Today I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Stuart Mckenzie. How you doing, mate?
I'm not so bad, mate. Not so bad at all. Yeah, been a bit rough the last few days, but fighting fit again.
Oh, good. Glad to hear you're all better. Apart from obviously bedbound and work, what else have you been doing to pass the time during lockdown?
Um, Not a lot really, mate. Just
Yeah.
decorating, trying to get some jobs done around the house.
Yeah.
Obviously a bit of homeschooling with the kids,
Yeah.
and trying to keep them entertained. Really, it's unprecedented times, really, and no one knows what's going on, really, do they? So
No.
you can't really plan for anything. The girls have been practicing out in the garden and following your TikToks and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So
No, good.
yeah, we're
Good
just
to
getting on the wife's nerves, really.
hear. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, we're gonna jump straight into it. So, what was it? Can you remember the first sort of thing that sort of grasps your attention into football and really got you interested in it?
I'm a Man United fan,
Right.
and believe it or not, I was a fan before they hit the big time sort of thing.
Yeah.
I remember my favourite player was Brian Robson. I thought
Okay.
he was just an immense player, an absolute warrior.
Yeah.
And then I remember watching the World Cup '86, and I remember obviously the Gary Lineker scoring that trick, and it's just getting through. And then I remember Maradona with a hand of God, and then that fantastic goal. And I don't know whether I wanted to kill him or hug him or what. It was just something else, Watching with my dad, I remember my dad sort of deafening and blind. And as for sort of playing at Grassroots, I played for a club called Kingfisher, and I remember having not a trial. They sort of started up the team, and it was around Bruton Park. Then Bruton Park, St Stephen's Park, and it was about under sevens. And I went with my mate, and he didn't get in, and I did. And so obviously you can see how that went. And I was there. I was there 7 years, and it was fantastic. Really, it was such a family-friendly team. We all stuck together. The manager was fantastic, and I still see him now and say hello. And even my parents still see the manager, and everyone says hello. And it's all, it's really, really nice. So
Yeah, and that manager that you had, was he sort of the first sort of leader or and figurehead in your football?
yeah, he was. He was obviously one of the dads, and the player. He was a very good player, very very good player. Probably too good for the team, if I'm honest with you.
Mm.
But the manager, he was so encouraging. He was so, and he was almost like part of he was almost like a player, part of the team. He was, laughing and joking. He never took anything so seriously. We were a decent side. We weren't top of the pops, but we had some really good players. But he was just such a nice bloke, and I've just every thought I have of him now is positive, and I haven't got a bad thought about him,
Yeah.
which is a nice memory to have, I think.
No, definitely. I think that's what we all aim for as coaches, is
Yeah,
to
definitely.
make that mark in the young player's life, and they look back and go, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, he was all right," and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
brilliant. Looks like he done the job perfectly then.
yeah. No, he did. To be fair,
Brilliant. So throughout like playing, is there any sort of moments that stick out that you thought, you know what, like it sort of give you a bit of an eye opener, and you learn new stuff throughout the way? Is there any sort of moments that stick out?
um, I started out on pitch, and then I remember our goalkeeper got injured, and I went in goal.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I can't honestly remember why, but the goalkeeper left or something happened, and I ended up standing goal.
Mm.
So being in goal is a totally different, it's a totally different thing. And I remember we got through to a cup final once, and I made quite a good few saves, and it was 1-1 at the time, and we were playing the top team. I think they were called St Thomas More, and at the time they were the team to be. They were the team to
Yeah.
play for. Everyone wanted to play for them, all the rest of it. Oh, I remember, and I think it was 1-0, and I remember their manager. I'd never really seen it before. He was up and down the touchline, pulling his hair out, swearing, shouting.
Yeah.
I thought, "Are you for real?"
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I do it myself now, but at the time, I've never really seen it because our manager was so calm, And he was, and I remember speaking to my parents after the game, and they were saying every time you made, like, you know, an half decent save, the game's, he was doing his nut. And I thought,
Yeah.
it really sort of changed, see a different side of it, you know,
Right.
because the parents always got on. There was never anything with the parents, with other teams or nothing. It was all sort of really friendly and polite and nice, and probably a bit too nice. But,
So,
yeah, so that sort of changed. I thought, oh, you know, it was just a different outlook on it, really.
yeah. And do you think that outlook benefited you, or maybe just was sort of there and you thought, oh, I didn't see that side before?
Yeah, I just didn't see that side before. It stuck. It's obviously stuck in my mind, so it must have had some sort of bearing on me. But you know, as a coach, you can get carried away. There's no, you know, I don't care who you are, you get carried away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can.
No, good. Good to hear some stuff like that. That's good. So, we'll move on from from playing, sorry.
Yeah.
How far after playing did you decide to become a coach?
Well, I stopped playing quite young, really. I stopped playing at about 14. The manager gave it up, and I was going to go to another team, and it just didn't feel the same, so I didn't. So I think if I'd have probably carried on to sort of, you know, 18, 20, I probably would have looked to have done me. Well, I don't know if he did badges then, I'm not 100% sure, but, you know, get into it then. And then obviously having 3 girls, it's not the sort of thing you think you're going to be sort of getting into.
Yeah.
But then obviously my eldest, she started playing with the school, and they had quite a successful team actually. They've done well. And then when Danson was starting to look for players, Freya and I think Libby went to the day thing, just having a trial sort of thing. And it took them a little while to get going, and then they didn't have enough players to sort of put on a training session, so then they were put with boys, and it sort of went a bit flat, and then all of a sudden the team popped up, and the oldest one didn't want to do it, Freya did, and the manager Ron, he took it on, and they were getting stuffed at the beginning, absolutely destroyed. Yeah, they were a new team, and yourself how that feels, and then I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. He couldn't make a game. He said, "Would I mind doing it?" And I said, "No." I thought, "Yeah, do it." And I tell you what, it was so nerve-wracking. I think it was a quarter final of a cup, and I thought, talk about throwing me in at the deep end.
Yeah.
And I think we went to extra time, and I'm thinking, I can't lose this. Not my first game. I can't lose this.
Yeah.
And we ended up winning 1-0. And then I think that I sort of got a little bit more involved. And then that summer, I'd done my level 1 course.
Okay.
And it went from there, really.
Yeah. And what was the course like for you? Was there anything that surprised you? Did you learn a lot from it?
Yeah, I did. Sort of 4 corners, and if I'm totally honest, I forgot most of it. But there's a lot, with the welfare of the kids, and the first aid side of things, and it is quite a broad course, the level 1, isn't it? And you can't really fail it as such, can you? But
yeah.
I suppose it is a stepping stone to the level 2, which you're obviously doing. So I don't know how that quite compares, what the jump's like. I can imagine it's quite big.
Well, I'd say it's slightly more detailed and just more developing on the level 1 and really getting you to think about yourself and analysing yourself as a coach. So I'd say it's just a bit more detailed. For coaches that are out there that are thinking of making that jump, it's not too steep as long as you focus hard and you understand the things that they're teaching you and you understand yourself mainly. But definitely, it's good to go on it if you're thinking about it. Anyone at home or yourself?
I don't think I will. I would have liked to have. I'd like to have had it under my belt because I know obviously you took some of our girls' coaching sessions and even some of the words you say, like unlucky, and you're going to me, you can't say that. And I'm thinking, what do you mean you can't say that? Do you remember there was a word? I can't think of what it was, whether it was unlucky or something. And you said, well, you can't sort of say that. You're not allowed, allowed to say it, but it's not, advised to say that sort of thing. So there is obviously other elements to it, and there's a massive, broader picture that
Yeah.
that sort of covers. So,
Well, it's going back to my point. It's just like the detail. You need to understand why you're saying that, and if you're saying unlucky for something that that they can help and that isn't luck, then maybe it encourages the player to think, well, oh, maybe that's the right thing to do. It just didn't happen for whatever reason. So, you just got to be careful with the words. You're not careful, but understand why you're saying it. That's what I've taken from the call so far, but I've not finished it yet, so got a long way to go.
I bet you have.
But yeah, no, it's good we have these discussions and everyone can help each other learn, because I was shocked as well. I was the world's worst. I used to say it all the time. Unlucky this, and even more words, and don't quite realise what effect some stuff that you're saying has on the players.
And also to make the training game related. You know, that it sounds obvious now, but you know, it never really sort of occurred to me. Make everything game related, and you just think, and as soon as I said it, it stuck, and you just think, that's right. But you know, I've never, you know, I don't know. It just stuck with me, that make things game related. You know, and it's so
that's a good point there. Do you think, like, coming back to your playing days, that some of the stuff that you were doing in training that was game related?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Stick the cones out, dribble around the cones, and have a sprint at the end of it. That was it, you know, and then have a kickabout. You know, that was it. You know, that was as far as it went. You know, and I don't know. You know, I enjoyed every minute of it, but we didn't work on tactics. We didn't work on, you know, shape. We didn't work on anything.
Yeah.
You know, it was a 4-4-2, and that was your lot. Get on with it. Kick the ball out. None of this pass out from the back and put it wide and turning out and all that sort of stuff. It was just oof it.
But no, it's interesting. That it's something I'm really interested in, that sort of development of what coaching was like over the past 10, 20 years, whatever, compared to now. So it's definitely interesting to hear them sort of stories in that. So we'll come back to the girls. So you took them over for your first game. Did you get through?
Yeah, we got through. Yeah, thank God. Yeah, we got through, and we won the cup that year. Yeah, so that was nice being part of the day when we got to the final, and I stood with the manager and got a little thing at the end of it, and it was nice watching the girls achieve something. It was really, really rewarding.
And so I'm guessing Ron, the guy that you work with, he sort of, did he give you that opportunity to make it become more permanent, or did it just naturally happen?
He said, I think he come round, we've been friends for a long time, and he come round and he said, do you want to be my assistant? I said, yeah, I'd love to. And then he said, there's a level 1 course to go on. And I thought, oh, right. And I didn't quite realise how involved, it's not too involved, but, the length of time is over 5 days.
Yeah.
2.5 weekends. So it does, full days. So it does take up a bit of your time. Luckily, my job allows that. And it worked out that the last weekend was just before I went away. So it was in the summer. So I was quite lucky that it all worked out, really.
Yeah.
And, I knew a few of the people on the course. So it was good. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Oh, brilliant. So taking that step from just a dad on the sideline to helping them out and giving your input, how was you feeling about that? Was you sort of anxious or nervous? Yeah.
Even doing this is well out of my comfort zone, but even with the girls, I tend not to do great big speeches in front of them and get them round and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. The way I sort of tend to do it is just have, like, when they're warming up, just pull one of them to one side and say, this is what I want you to do today, and well done last week, and just give them a little bit of encouragement and seem to do it a bit more sort of on a one-to-one basis, a bit more personal, and I think they respond to that quite well. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Even if one of them's a sub, I'll sort of say, you're going to be sub today, and this is the reason, and this is the reason, and I want you to come on at this point and really change the game for me, and your energy and all, really sort of try and boost them up.
Yeah.
That's how I tend to sort of coach, and at the beginning it's go and enjoy yourself, let's try and win, and all the rest of it, you know. So that's how I tend to sort of coach.
Yeah. So, sort of without being biased, do you think that's a more effective way of coaching on match days and training and stuff like that, or do you think the big group huddles are?
Oh no, I think that there's nothing wrong with that, and they're just as effective. I think
Yeah.
it's just the way I do it.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. When you're in a semi-final or you're playing an important game, we do that. But just as a general thing, that's just what I do. I find that more comfortable doing that, if I'm honest with you. You know, you do try and rally the troops. You know, we don't want them to win. Do you want to watch them jumping up and down at the end of the game? No. And then that seems to sort of get them going, you know. So, but yeah, that's just, I think sometimes, especially if you've got girls that don't usually start or you know, it's a bit of a touch and go who's going to play and, you know, all the rest of it, then I think it's nice that they hear something that they can sort of think, oh, right, he's not just ignoring me, or, you know, it's a bit personal to them, and I think they respond to that.
Yeah. No, brilliant. It's nice that to hear from a coach that sort of taps into their social and psychological corner, because a lot of coaches are all about tactics and we need to get this right and we need to be technical and stuff like that. But sort of some of the best coaching does come from tapping into their psychological
tactics and that. You know, that you know, you can have a basic plan, a basic setup, but you know, the girls, some of the girls, they're not. You could tell them what to do, exactly where you want them to be, what you want them to do, and they go on a pitch to do something totally different anyway.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get all 11 girls to do exactly what you want them to do, unless they've been trained by, I don't know, Mourinho or someone like that.
Yeah.
I think it's nigh impossible.
Yeah.
You know, you'll always get one or two or even 5 or 6 that just don't quite get it, or not in the right position, or not shuffling across, or not covering, or not doing something. So tactics is a big part of football, obviously, but I think just getting them in the right frame of mind, just making them feel comfortable, making them feel happy. You know, some of them are sort of rubbing their eyes in the morning, and you know, just lightening the mood and just getting them sort of going. Really, I think that's the key to it. I think.
Yeah, brilliant. So how long have you been with him now as a assistant or as a coach?
It'll be my 3rd season, I think. Yeah, so let's say about 3.5 years I've been doing it with him.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed every minute of it. Don't get me wrong. There's times when, you know, there's stuff going on, politics, and you think, oh, could I really be doing with this? But that happens everywhere. And you know, there's times when you've got ready and you get the phone call that the game's cancelled, and you think, oh no, and you physically gutted. You're like, oh no, what am I going to do today? You know, and it really disappoints you. You know, lucky that they're a fantastic bunch of girls. Absolutely, you know, they're fantastic. Their attitude is brilliant, and we've had quite a bit of success. So I think that obviously motivates you to try and sustain that. But you know, you've seen them; they're sort of like 15-year-old girls now. They're young women. They're and how long they carry it on for, only time will tell, really. You know, so
yeah, they're a fantastic bunch. Throughout them 3 years, how much have they developed and improved?
I think they're develop a lot aggressively. I think sometimes when we get a new player and they turn up to training, they can't believe how aggressive our girls are.
Right.
In the tackle, even at training. And I think, they say, oh, I can't quite get my head around this. This is, and they're a bit tentative. And I'll just say, go in and tackle. Otherwise, go in, otherwise you're going to get hurt. This is how we train. This is how we play. We're quite a physical side. And also, I think just being comfortable on the ball. I think, especially Freya, she was put on the left-hand side, and now her left foot is just as good as her right foot.
Yeah.
And just finding the pass instead of just hoofing it like I used to do.
Yeah.
Now they're a bit of composure and pass the ball. So I think that's how they've sort of developed over time, really.
Oh, brilliant. So we'll reflect on the season that's just passed. Quite a brilliant one.
Yeah.
Shame, obviously, it came to a short end, but such as everything else, everything's happening around the world, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
just it's out of our control. On the whole, successful season.
Yeah, it started off. We had a 3-3 draw. I think we were 3-1 up or 3-0 up, and we drew 3-3, and that was a bit disappointing. That the girls didn't see the game out. Bit unlucky, really, but we were the better team. But that's just how it goes. And then our sort of nemesis Maidstone, they beat us at home. I think with 2-1 or 1-0. And then so the league was a little bit out of our hands, which is quite an unusual position for us.
Yeah.
But the girls battled back. They beat West Kent, who were flying at the time, beat them twice. I think you see one of the goals, didn't you? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, last kick of the game, absolutely outstanding. You see me going up down the line like Mourinho at Old Trafford. And then we went to Maidstone and beat them, and then it was in our hands. And then we had a double header. I can't think of things against Gravesham, and we won both games. So that elevated us to the top of the league. And it was all in our hands. And then I think we've got 3 games left. And 3 games left, and good on the league that they've done it on a points per game, and they've awarded us the league. So, funny enough, we should be in a final today.
Oh wow, it's today.
Yeah, today our final should be today. So we should be playing in the final and lifting the league up today. So it's a bit surreal, really, that. And then we made the semi-finals of the County Cup, Kent County Cup, which we were finals last season. Unfortunately, lost that. But we've had a new addition. Really not, lovely girl, fantastic on the ball. Needs toughening up a bit, like they all do when they join us, but she's getting there. And overall, it's been a fantastic season.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I was a pleasure to sort of join in on the back end of it. Looking at how you described it as wasn't in our hands and we was sort of chasing it. Do you think that sort of mentality of trying to chase sort of that objective of getting first place and stuff like that, is that really a great motivating factor for them throughout the season in terms of training and matches and stuff like that?
Yeah, because they've got such a will to win, and the disappointment on their face, when we went 3-3, and then when we lost at home to Maidstone, the disappointment on their face says it all.
Yeah.
And I was obviously devastated, but they're furious with themselves, and you can't coach that as far as I'm concerned. You can't coach that, that desire and that will to win, and they've got it, and every single one of them have got it, and it makes big games, it makes occasions easier when they've got that mentality. Chasing it and grinding out results when we haven't played well, and then beating the bigger teams sometimes quite comfortably is and you can see it on them, in them, and they're over the moon, and they're looking at the other players who say, up yours, sort of we're the better team, and I think to be a good team you've got to have a little bit of arrogance about you. And it's not arrogance; they're not arrogant, but a little bit of confidence. You've got to be a little bit sure of yourself, and a lot of them are, and it's really nice to see. Really nice to see.
Excellent stuff. So, just that sort of mentality and that feeling of after a game and then being so disappointed with themselves. That's something that I'm the world's worst. I play Wednesdays, and if we lose or we don't get the right result, I'm devastated and I'm so angry with myself for a while. How can us as coaches support them the best way we can mentally after stuff like that? Is that something that is sort of out of our hands, or is there stuff we can say or do that can support them and make them realise, it's not just about the winning and we go ahead?
I think you've got to learn to be gracious in defeat. I think you can't win everything. We went one season totally unbeaten and won the double, and how do you sort of top that? The following year we become second, but I think you've got to be gracious in defeat, and And when you do have a defeat, you've got to try and sit yourself down and think, right, I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and, use it to your advantage for next time.
Yeah.
And that's how I sort of say to them, you don't like this feeling. You can't win every game, but, use it so you don't want to feel like this the next time.
Yeah.
And, some people take it on board, others don't. You can never really tell, but at the time, they're all too disappointed and, hugging each other.
Yeah.
But, that's just, what else can you say to them? When they're got that bigger desire to win, I don't think anything you say to them at that very precise moment will console them, So, yeah.
Nice. So, just going back to sort of what we spoke about earlier, you mentioned obviously your coach as a player was quite encouraging and
Yeah.
positive, and then you see that different side of the other coach that was, animated on the sideline and very passionate and getting carried away. What sort of environment do you set to your players in the training and the matches? Are you a bit of both? Are you maybe
If I'm honest,
leaning to one
I
side?
got carried away. I'll lob my hands up to that every all the time. Especially, it is only a game. They are only kids at the end of the day. As don't mean to sort of disrespect them by saying that, but they are, it is only a kids' game. But I don't know. You got to try and make it fun for them. You have got to try, and we do have a laugh at training. You've seen them. The character. There's so many characters, and I'll spend half my time training laughing because they're fantastic. But I think when you have a little bit of success in the team, you have got to be a little bit serious. If that's what they want, if they didn't want that, if they didn't want to win, because they want to win.
Yeah.
So why, as a coach, should I stop that? Why should I sort of say, oh, no, it's only a game, just go and enjoy it? They want to win. So I've got to say, go out there and, do it. So it's difficult. It's difficult trying to find that balance sometimes. But I like to think we have got the balance right.
Yeah.
I like to think we have got the balance right.
Definitely. And that's a great point because there's always that debate in grassroots football and how much does winning matter and stuff like that. But the point you raised there, if they're so eager on winning and they've got such brilliant ambition, why should we hold them back? And that's a brilliant point.
Exactly. Who am I to say, if they've been training, doing extra training, going out for runs, want to do extra training, can we do extra training? And then for me to sort of rein that back, you've got to let it develop. You've got to let them explore that side of themselves. In my view.
Brilliant. So we touched on it briefly as well. The Kent Girls and Ladies League, their decision to make it a points per game and finally clear up the end of the season. What's your opinion and your views on that?
Well, obviously we won the league, so I'm over the moon. But it was nice having a little bit of closure.
Yeah, definitely.
To that. Obviously, I'm not sure what's happening with the final. In my view, if the season does start, it'd be a fantastic opener to the season.
Yeah.
Like, almost like a charity shield sort of game, before the league starts, that sort of thing. I think that'd be great. I think it'd be, and to have, because when you have the finals day, you also get the trophies for the league and all the rest of it. So I think it'd be a shame to miss out on that day.
Yeah.
For everyone involved in the grassroots, throughout the ages, people come second, just the finals day, just because you do put a lot into it, as players and coaches, and it takes up a lot of your time. So you want to reap the rewards of that, and that day is for the girls. So, but I'm glad that they put a sort of end to the speculation and sort of dealt with it and just said, right, that's what we're going to do. Bang, it's done. So everyone knows where they are.
Yeah. And they've done it quite early as well, didn't they?
Exactly. Yeah. They did do it. I'm not sure what Selkent, how they've gone about or what they've done.
Yeah. Well, they've. I don't think they've even said anything. So
about the virus, let alone anything else today.
But yeah, it's good that some leagues just took that action quickly and
definitely
gave that clarity to the all participants. So obviously chuffed with it. You've won yourself another league title. How how much is this situation we're in now not taking away from it, but how much of the feeling are the girls missing out of, you know, not getting their big day and stuff like that? How is that affecting them?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I think the younger you are, I think the more you take things in your stride. I think it's probably more the adults that are,
Yeah,
you know, what's going on, what's going on. The kids are like just happy to be off school, I suppose, aren't they? But
yeah,
obviously they do miss the football, and you know, we've put on our WhatsApp group today. You know, we should be at the final, we should be doing this, and everyone's, I know, gutted and sad faces and crying faces and all the rest of it. So it does mean a lot to a lot of people. You know, it is a fantastic occasion for everyone. So you know, I'm gutted that it's not happening. So I'm you know, I'm Freya's still asleep. So
yeah.
so, but I know she's disappointed that it's not happening. Very disappointed.
Yeah,
But hopefully, as I say, hopefully the day will come. You know. So
yeah,
we'll have
definitely.
to wait and see.
So something I'm very passionate about is, you know, your girls are at a certain age now where they could either get distracted and fall out of love with the sport and
Yeah.
explore other avenues and stuff like that, being at that 15, 16 age. How do you see many of your players staying on
Oh,
and playing football
yeah,
right through to their late teens, early
definitely,
20s?
without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, no, I do. I think there'll be a few that will fall by the wayside, but I think the majority of them will want to continue, and hopefully that'll happen at Denton. You know, because I'm
Yeah.
not sure whether they don't have a sort of a ladies' adult team as such. I know the team that were older than our girls at Denton, they fell by the wayside. You know,
Yeah.
it would be a shame because they've been together for years, and it would be a shame. I mean, you see all over Facebook and all the rest of it that teams are advertising for 16 plus teams. So
Mm.
I'm hoping I really do hope they do. But as you say, they're at that age where schoolwork, you know, socialising, boys, all the rest of
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
Saturday jobs, you know, it all sort of, you know, it all has an effect on how they carry on. So, but I know the league goes from next season under 16, and I think it jumps to under 18, which I can never work that out. Why they don't do an under 17s?
Yeah, I think
I'm not sure why that is.
I think it might have something to do with the amount that participate. Obviously, we that issue of people dropping out.
Right. So
That they, if they put the two age groups together, then they can sort of excuse me.
formulate a league,
Yeah,
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 definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's that feeling, not feeling, but that thought of some girls dropping out and not carrying on. Is that a worry, or do you think it just is what it is? And
I wouldn't say it was a worry, but I'd say, you know, I suppose it happens with the boys as well. You know,
yeah,
I suppose everything happens in sort of proportion. But I just think there's a lot of girls there that are super talented, really, and they could probably, if with the right environment, the right, you know, I'm just a level one coach. I'm not, you know, nothing fancy. But if they had, you know, some really super duper coaching, that they could really, you know, progress.
yeah,
You know, there's a good few of them that are really, really good and can, you know, if they sort of dedicated themselves to it, that, you know, you never know. You know, there's been a couple of girls that have gone on to, you know, play for academy clubs, you know, and doing really well and still enjoying it. So, but it's obviously, I think obviously it's another commitment. It's another level of commitment that is, you know, training 3 times a week, traveling all over the country, more
yeah,
expense, parents. So there's other factors involved in it as well, not just the player themselves.
yeah. Um, so I'll put a bit of a scenario to you now. We
Yeah,
spoke about one thing the girls do have is that physical side to them.
yeah,
Um, Under 16s, when they turn 16, that obviously they can play for ladies teams and
yeah.
senior teams. Would you be happy to put forward some of the players in your teams? Do you think they're ready for ladies football?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a couple of them that, you know, they're running in from the 18-yard box, banging in headers from and they're knocking everyone out of the way. You know,
yeah,
they're ready. They're a physical, you know, they're a physical side, and you know, we've had trying to get friendlies, and with our boys teams who don't want to play us because they're some of them read the game and they're sliding tackles and they're getting stuck in, and they're black eyes, and they're brilliant.
Yeah.
So I think they would. It might be a bit of a shock to them at the start, but I think they'd adapt pretty quick to it.
Nice. That's good to hear. Right. Finally, we'll finish on a good note here. What is the hopes and plans for next season, providing we come back at a stable time or whatever? What would you like to achieve in that? Not final season with them, but that last sort of.
Possibly could be, couldn't it?
Yeah,
the last
could
season.
be. Yeah.
So that is a bit of there's a little bit of a concern because I know Frey wants to carry on. Just so they enjoy it again, just so they've got memories to look back on. So when they're sort of my age, a bit older, and they've got good memories of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And even being a bit selfish, they think I'm all right at the end of it. Oh, he was all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Down the street in 30 years' time, and when I'm hobbling about, oh, here he is, look, the old git, and that sort of, just that they continue to enjoy it, because obviously it's it's an exam year. They're going to have stresses and strains on them. So, it's just somewhere they can switch off from everyday stresses of life and just enjoy themselves. And hopefully we win the league.
Always a bonus.
Yeah, always a bonus. Yeah.
Stuart, you've been a great guest. Thank you for agreeing to come on and help us out. We've brought up some really interesting points, and it's been a good discussion. Thank you. Hope you stay safe. Hope everything's good, and hopefully the girls can have a great season next season. Guys, thank you for watching. Please give it a like, share it to everyone, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and make sure you're staying safe. See you later, everyone.